What's going on YouTube? I'm Jody Black and welcome to my YouTube channel where we talk about everything finance. Now I typically post here on every Wednesday, so make sure you subscribe. What are we talking about today? You read the title. The title reads, how do advanced investors typically invest? Now we have to look at two different terms, which is cyclical and non-cyclical. When you think of cyclical, you want to think of a good economy and a lot of discretionary spending. So if we're gearing out of a recession, the first term we want to talk about is financials, right? If we're gearing out of a recession and going toward a good economy, advanced investors usually invest into financials. What are these stocks that I'm talking about? I'm talking about your JP Morgans, your Bank of Americas. Now, why would you invest in that gearing out of a recession into a good economy? Obviously, this is very volatile because money is flowing in and out of banks because we're going toward a good economy. People are making money. Like I said, money is flowing in and out of banks. This is why you would invest into your JP Morgans and your Bank of Americas. Makes sense. Number two would be your Infotech. Now, these are stocks that I would say to invest in at all times, but when the economy is doing very well, you want to think of Infotech's stocks like your Google or your Apples, right? Now, imagine a world without Apple or Google Excel. So investors typically invest in this when we're in a good economy. Three will be your consumer discretionary. This is fairly simple to understand. Why would advanced investors invest into your consumer discretionaries when we're in a good economy? You want to invest in these things. These things would be your Nike, your Amazon. Now, if you think about these glasses that I got off Amazon, I bought this when we're in such a good economy, but I had the money to buy some. Now, when we're in a good economy, we want to invest into the stocks like your Amazon or your Nike and things like that because people buy in a good economy. By the way, be careful what you buy on Amazon. So we talking about 1, 2, and 3, which is your financials, right? 2 would be your Infotech, and 3 would be your consumer discretionaries. 4, where we've already gotten out of a recession, we're gearing into a good economy. We're already in a good economy when we're talking about consumer discretionary. Now we're in the midpoint of the growth where we could be going down toward a recession again. So this is a sector rotation, right? And this is what cyclical and non-cyclical comes in. Now, in the midpoint of the growth, you want to think about your material stocks, your PPGs, things like that. Industrial stocks, right, which would be your Boeing jets, and then 6, going out of a good economy and kind of going toward a recession, which is your energy. So that's 4, 5, and 6. Now, we touched on materials. Materials are things that investors invest in the midpoint of the growth because we still need materials for Boeing jets, which would be your 5, because we're still in a good economy. So goods have to be shipped back and forth with your Boeing jet stock. All right. And then 6, why 6? Because Boeing jets obviously need your oil. So that would be your Chevron, your Exxon. This is the midpoint of the growth, which is steady growth. And this is why advanced investors typically invest in these sectors. Now, if we're gearing toward a recession, which these stocks are less volatile and they're slow and steady stocks, we go into the 7, right? The 7 would be your defensive side, which would be your non-cyclical side. So number 7, I like to number this as your consumer staples. Consumer staples are things that we always need. You want to think of stocks like Walgreens, Walmart, supermarket, things like that, that we always are going to buy, we always are going to need. This is why I typically invest in this side because it's slow and steady growth. It's not as volatile, and you know that you're going to make a good sum of money off of these stocks. So we talked about consumer staples. Now 8, which I would like to talk about, is your utilities. Now, I've talked about this before, how to grow a bag in any type of economy. Utilities is something I like to invest in. And these are your energy stocks like your Duke Energy or your Dominion. Now, if you're an adult, you already know this, we have to pay our bills, your water, your gas, your electric. Now, when we're in a bad economy, when we're in a recession, this is where investors kind of sell off the rest of the stocks when the economy was doing very well and buy into the stocks like your Chevron, right? Or your utility stocks like your Duke Energy and your Dominion. Now, because we're in a recession, and we might be in a recession for a very long time, we're still trying to get a bag. So we talked about number 8, which was utilities. Let's talk about number 9, right? Number 9 is your health stocks. Now, this did very, very well when the economy was not doing very well, but we still were dealing with COVID because everybody still needs healthcare. These stocks typically always do very well, little volatility and heavy growth. These are your stocks like Pfizer, Moderna, things like that. So like I said, we talked about 5 terms in the cyclical side and then 5 terms in the defensive side. We talked about 9 terms already. And the 10th one would be your communication services. Now, I typically think of these things like your waste management, because we always need waste management. We always need someone to take the trash. Now, these aren't real volatile stocks. You could think of these stocks like Comcast and things like that. We typically wouldn't shut off our internet services just because it's a bad economy, but you can think of Comcast, Verizon, T-Mobile, stocks like that. Now, these stocks typically in history haven't done tremendously well, but if you're talking about compound interest in a very long time, they do well when we're not in a good economy and we shift our money into the defensive side, the cyclical side, which we need to shift our money because those volatile stocks, like your Apple, your Google, tend to go down. Now, we went over 10 terms. Tell me, in the economy we're in today, where you will be putting your money at. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.